Trying Welcome back, everybody. Friday night Winston Cup Racing here at FSB. I'm your host, Shawn, back in the booth with my partner in crime, the man, the myth, the monster, Milt Jr. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, man? Welcome to Hattiesburg.
Indeed,
This track
Hattiesburg.
looks scary.
It's different. It's a fictional track, a 1.2 mile. The description calls it a tri-oval. It's a quad oval. You can see the dog leg right in front of us here. Actually, I got the standings over it, so you'll see it as we get going here. But it's got a flat dog leg to it. You can take wide open. Different radius in the corners. It tightens up on the exit of 2, and it's a little tighter on the entry of 3 versus what 4 and 1 are banked at. It's kind of like, best description Ryan Johnson gave it when he proposed running it is it's like Rockingham and Darlington had a baby, and I would add in that they dressed it up like Texas. It's got that dog leg shape instead of being a D oval. But it's a tire shredder. It's a total tire shredder, so tire management's going to be the order of the day. It's a 1.2 mile track. We're running 100 laps tonight. Usually we run 40%. He had to bump it up to 50%. Make sure we had to make 2 pit stops here, because you can run 40. You could make it on 1 stop if they didn't do that. And
that's another thing, pit stops. Wow.
Yeah, pit stops. And you can see that pit road too. Very unique that the pit road follows the shape of the track. So it dog legs instead of being a straight pit road like a lot of the other dog leg tracks have. So you see on the pole there, you got Slim Jim Gately, the professor, keeping up his hot season there. He puts the 23 car on the pole, just a thousandth of a second faster than Dan Irvine in second spot there in the 27 car. Jordan McGregor definitely one to watch on the quirky tire management tracks. It's the 30 car in third. Mark DeSenza coming back off the great comeback win last week at Darlington. This is a track that runs pretty similar to Darlington, so keeps the tire management, mindset from last week carried over to tonight. Look for some good things out of the 3 car starting 4th. Billy Arborough, always good on short tracks. This is kind of an intermediate short track. It's 54, rounding out your top 5 there. And Rick Castle, look at that. He almost cracks the top 5 there in the 124. Dennis Chambers, your winner Tuesday night in the Chicken Run, which is just the shorter version of the same series. We were on the same track, same setup, everything on Tuesday night in the Chicken Run. He starts 7th. Dan Jones ran 2nd in that race. In fact, he was right on the 10 cars bumper, and he's snuck into the booth here, our in-race reporter. How you doing, Dan?
Excellent. You guys doing a great job as usual. Thanks.
Thank you, Dan. And so you did better than me on Tuesday. Apparently,
I don't know.
Taking care of those tires. What's your approach tonight? What'd you learn from that?
Follow the fast guys.
Yeah, it's I guess
and that's we laugh, but at the same time, that is when you're not the fast guy. A racer kind of starts to get a pace by pacing with other cars. Definitely out front, you better have your gear ready, because all these guys, this is a new track, and you see Slim up there in front, you realize he's that kind of guy that can
you gotta
new track and dominate.
Figure out these guys' lines.
And that's
so
my
that
pick,
saves
by the
the
way.
tires, right?
So you're taking Slim there?
Yes, sir.
Milty? All right.
Jim Ray and the Donkeys are taking the 52.
Like they always do. So I'm going to wrap up the qualifying order real quick here. Rick Bisconner, who we saw doing rather presumptive burnouts there on pit road to close out happy hour, puts the 109 ninth. Johnny Doucette rounds out your top 10, followed by Steve Weber, Dave Jandry, Rick Johnson, starting back in the field. That pick for Jim Ray and rest of Donkey Bop there, so he's got to work his way through this field, but he's certainly one capable of doing it. Pops Margison, Ryan Johnson, Sam Young, Jeff Habbick, and Brad Otto rounding out your qualifiers. Ken Hansen, Chet Barkin, T.G. Reese, Joe Sharam, all taking provisionals, and the rest of those entries you see there won't be making the start tonight, and we got engines firing.
So who you got?
Who have I got? Man, if you're taking Slim, man, it's tough. It's a short track, so you want to
You
say
sound like
Yarborough.
that tax guy on the commercial, you know. Well, exactly what I'm going to get back.
Can I let you
Screw
know
it. I'm going to say
99
Mark
now?
DeSenza.
Pick your bro there, man. Pick the W7.
DeSenza backs it up. He goes back to back. That's what I'm saying.
He's on fire. Yep. He wants it.
Oh, you got? I missed that.
D-Rocket.
D-Rocket. 2 in a row. We've seen him back to form, and that's bad news for the Bears.
Bad news for all of us.
Better watch that Folgers in your cup car, McGregor.
Yeah, he's
124. Rick Castle qualifying up there.
Holy crap!
This
Rick
could
Castle.
be his thing here.
Toughest guy to pass lately. He's gotten the lines. He's gotten the.
Yeah, he's getting faster all the time. You got our FSP pace car about to duck off here. And Slim Jim
back in his team channel, ready to, I mean, 1 minute he's talking to us, next minute he got a race to do.
Yeah, he's got to focus. He needs to hear his spotter. He needs to hear his engine getting through the gears, and we are green.
Too wide, going through the dog leg, down into turn 1. No specified banking on the info of this track, so I can't tell you exactly how much that's banked, but it's not very much.
It is essentially flat, probably just a little bit of banking for drainage.
Jim Gailey, followed by Dan Irvine and Jordan McGregor, and that guy, Bill Yarborough. Last week, he couldn't see at Darlington with his rig and drove a couple laps.
Pace car's out already.
Pace car is out. I think we're going to see some cautions tonight, bros.
Yeah, if anybody didn't get practice in for this track, as we got Mama Gately checking in, cheering for her boy Slim. Good to see you back.
What happened, boys?
That's what I'm trying to find. It appears to be something involving T.G. Reese. I know that's practice, never mind.
Chet Markin running slowly. In the 68, he's been having issues, computer issues. Look at those guys in the back there.
Looks
like Chet bringing up the rear, so could be him.
Right on the start.
Newly signed by Donkey Bop in iRacing. Going to be doing some road racing, trying to get up to speed. My new teammate.
Right on the start, 99 hit the wall, but that was not the source of the caution. Looks like by the time they got to turn 3... Let me see if I can get a different camera angle here. Somebody started to spin going into 3. I'm going to switch over now. So let's see. I think it might have been the 83 here. The 83 brake checks there. And then you got cars 3 wide. 52 is sliding.
Oh, Chet, it was into the wall, and okay, I'm watching.
But then further.
Oh, and then the 9, it was 3 wide with DG Reese. They made it through there, so.
Then further back.
Then Chet spun, and the 101 spun in front of him. That was the 101 of Tower. Spun. Didn't look like there was much contact there, so these guys should be able to continue.
Yeah, that was just a chain reaction to all those events happening at once. And yes, I do believe that all those cars involved should be okay to continue.
Well, that's showing you what's up. A new track like this, you got to see how the tires are. We know it's using up tires in the long run because you ran it.
Oh yeah.
What's the car like on cold tires?
It's very stable. It's a little loose for the first lap, but then really kind of snug the rest of the way.
Yeah, it looked like Tower was not out of his element there.
Yeah, it was.
Went around on him.
It was just the chain reaction there that I think caused all that. I see some cars are hitting pit road to top off, looking to extend their green flag run when we go back to it.
Says we got 35 laps on the tank.
Thank you.
Yeah, with one caution, I ran the full 40 laps on Tuesday night.
Wow.
Never stopped. Because, similar to this, we had a caution on the very first lap on Tuesday, and then we went green the rest of the way. Yeah, so 40 laps.
Brad Otto,
first 4 under
pit
caution.
Road, Fresno, California. 1, 2, 3, 4, United States Marine Corps.
Man, a lot of racing.
I think he's a little dizzy there. He looked like he was letting cars by. I think he's going to like staying behind here and trying to get into a rhythm. Howard coming back down pit road along with the 53 TG Reese. Ding! Do the back end. This pit road has also got that dog leg in it. Power getting tires. Maybe they were just at the tail end there, so they pitted late. Or maybe they got a lap down, I'm not sure. 4 tires and fuel for the one-on-one. Dennis Chambers back in there. Lest we not forget him. Jim Salad. Not tossing any salad yet here, but in the back. Don't try this at home, kids.
Pace car's off, and Slim Jim leads us back to green once again.
See what the 52 does here. He's chilling like a villain. I think he's going to assess what's going on. I think these drivers feel the same way. There's going to be some cautions there early. Maintain track position. Deal with it. How about Joe Sherem in that Exalta car? Nice paint job. New paint job for him. And that car's looking sweet, dude. 192.
We got Jordan McGregor, Billy Yarborough all having a little checkup back here.
This is respectable and a good position for him to be in. He's obviously feeling it on this track here. Let's see, we got the 58. He went in and got tires, and Johnny Doucette, 5 fingers, blows by him like a whirlwind. Now he's taking a look at the 9 car. He's going with those fresh tires here. The beer can, Ken Hansen, up there in 12th. I mean, it was lucky he didn't get wrecked there at the start there. He was 3 wide a couple times and managed to keep it together there with slower car on his outside and faster car on his inside. That guy, 59, Ryan Johnson, our admin, this is a track made for him, laying back, using fuel strategy later in the race, keeping out of trouble. That's what he do. That's how he win. And he's
absolutely
dialed in with that 52 guy. He was my teammate and my adversary, and I learned real quick, if you can get behind that guy and follow, that's probably a pretty good idea. Dave Jandry in the 51 car.
Well, I just managed to accidentally tab out of my
Okay,
main
good.
screen. Yep, so we're going to have -1 laps. Darn it.
707 is looking pretty strong with Jordan McGregor. They've lost some time. Rick Castle in P5. That's right where he wants to be. All of that 54 car. We're starting to see this field spread out now. Like we talked, what we saw last week, the 3-car of Mark DeCenza is really starting to look back to form, and he is all over the back of Dan Irvine. Now we're going to see, the longer this run goes in, we're going to see, talk about that tire wear. See different lines there with Irvine versus the 3. 3 coming way out in the dog leg right there. Boy, that's scary, and that's high speed right there. Down to 135 in the corner. That still is hauling the mail. Down to 124 in 3 and 4. Going through that dog leg at 150. There's that guy in front there. Looking for 5 out of 6. And the caution is out.
Caution out again. Again, you're going to have to ignore the -1 on the lap counter. It's because I crashed the desktop on my main screen and it messes up the standings program I use when I get back in. But just call that -1 100 and you'll be good.
Well, yeah, I mean, stuff you do is amazing, and
If for some
little
reason
details like that, I probably didn't even notice. In fact,
for some reason my macro
everybody down
program.
pit road. I'm sorry.
For some reason my macro that changes the from the top 12 to the bottom 12 isn't running tonight. Couldn't get it to work, so I'm not sure why that's not happening. Anyway, yeah, we got yellow flag pit stops. Everybody's going to come in and get tires with this one.
Stays out. He pitted the last time, and he's
probably
rolling the dice.
No, he's probably just picking up a lap lead.
Okay, well, you're probably right.
Looks like I found the source of our caution here. Oh, yes, I did. Let me get that up in a sec here. And you see the 9 of Ken Hansen and the 52 of Rick Johnson coming off the corner there. Looks like the 9 just had to pedal it a bit, and 52 gets into him.
Irvine had to go around the 3. That was him.
You see the back end on the Core's beer can is crumpled up pretty good there.
Oh, got contact from 5-time there. That's I'm sure Rick didn't mean to do that, but not gonna make the beer can happy there. Those cars, I mean, great. You don't know how hard this is. They're all pulling out there. Wow, watching it on delay. Everybody negotiates pit road excellently. It's pro racing, folks. They're the best guys in NASCAR 2003, in my opinion, as good as anybody in the world. And there's still some other leagues, that are just as good. And guys that could come over and see if they can take these guys, God.
Absolutely. Anybody can go on over to fsbracing.com,
And
sign
also,
up.
if you're new, if you're starting from scratch, like my coworker, he's, looking to get him a wheel and a rig, and like, dude, might want to try FSB. The bang for the buck is, and look at this racing, and this sim is still top notch after all these years from 2003. You know, if I had time to drive a stock car, a sim game, which I don't have any time, I am doing the 12 hours of Sebring next week, so I have no practice. I don't have the car. That's pretty much usual for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'll get about 10 laps in, and I know Chile Verde, and I know Sebring, so about halfway through the race, I'll start getting faster, you know. And I'll be like, man, if I only could have practiced, but pretty busy guy, you know. But if I was going to run stock car, I wouldn't do it in iRacing. I would do it here. I think this is the best sportsmanship. You got skill level. You got training. Got people that will help, and the bang
Plus,
for the buck.
Yeah, it's free. All the stuff that's added on to NASCAR 2003 is
You
free.
don't have to buy tracks and all that stuff. And I'm not, dissing iRacing. I'm just personal opinion as far as a stock car.
After you spend, what, 2-3 years getting in your ranking in iRacing, you can actually race some people.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, lights are off on the FSB Firebird pace car tonight.
On Monday and Friday, you can run this race on TV.
Heck yeah. Slim Jim's still in the lead.
What's these guys behind? Now they've had a couple restarts. They realize that Slim Jim is, he's looking for 5 for 6, and we know what a machine and what a great, the way he drives in the lead. He's going to be hard to beat here.
Sam Young moving himself up to third. Must have taken 2 tires in that stop, because he was way back in the field.
Slamming Sammy.
I was telling him this place eats tires, and he's going to regret that. It's possible he also just got too close to the wall.
See the mechanics of the 23, but that wide line through there really gave a run for Dan Irvine. Gonna try it again. Keep the air on the nose and try to over and under. He's thinking, you know what? I gotta try to get him now and get that track position. He's looking down low and he can't make the pass. Backs off.
And you see Sam Young already falling backwards with those 2 old left side tires.
Hey, one of the Possum Hollow guys, LT74, Tom Scher.
Hey, Tom.
What's up, bud? We're hearing great news from another possum, Possum Papa, Bubba. Been going through hellacious health problems and looking to get back on the track. What great news is that? Are you kidding me? As cool as any dude you'll see, and we
pace
got
car
that caution
back
again.
on the track.
This does not surprise me.
Cautions breeding cautions.
Dan Jones in status report.
Oh, I see what happened. Just backing it up here again. Well, he noted before that the beer can got a little crushed on the back end, and sometimes when that happens, it makes the car extra loose.
Especially at a track like this.
Yeah, and
what a great
there you go.
season, the great last 2 seasons he's run. I mean, he's one of the best in the world and helps with the setups.
Actually, that did not bring out the caution. Okay, he kept it straight. So then the next...
Oh boy, Dan Irvine deciding whether or not to pit, feigning, and Slim Jim wasn't having none of that.
There was the actual source of the caution. 68 got loose as the 30 was passing him. Well, laps down.
Hard leg for the 9. He turned right on the straightaway.
And Jordan McGregor goes around from the 68, getting loose into the right side quarter panel there. So that was the second incident. That's the one that actually brought out the caution.
Nothing Jordan could do there.
Not a
Got
thing.
hammered, hard lick.
He never even saw it coming.
Nah, you wouldn't. You would figure because he gave room there, but the difference was once the 43 hit the wall, then he came back into Jordan
68.
there. 68, sorry.
I know
Get your
it's
numbers right,
it's the Richard Petty 200 win scheme, but it's not a 43.
The Racer's Edge.
So we are now in the one-stop territory with 20 laps down out of 100. I switched back to the old lap counter. I forgot I put that shortcut into my stream deck here, so I can get accurate laps on the screen.
For the people that didn't pit, we're at about 30 laps here on our tank.
They're thinking, obviously, there's going to be another caution. That's pretty good.
That's a good bet. The caution's going to breed cautions. Yeah.
Got some start lane cars that are still within the rules to run. A 2-incident rule. At least I think, definitely don't make those calls. But
right side of Jordan's car is not pretty, as we're looking at it right here.
Looks like half crushed.
The coffee can, yeah.
I can crush one for you here real quick. It sounds kind of like this. Hear that?
Yep, I'm ringing that one up. That's about the sound that the right side of Jordan McGregor's car made, too.
I can do that with my bare hands, yeah.
Jordan got in the wall earlier when I was following him, and he hit pretty hard.
Yeah, and then he got tagged by a 68
leg.
for that, spinning 68 there to start this caution. So he's taking a couple hits on that side. We're take a look here at the aforementioned new paint for Joe Sharon. Yeah, throwing back to an Exalta scheme.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a Gen 6 style paint scheme on a Pontiac 4+4 there. Or was it 2+2? What was that Pontiac with the big bubble glass in the back? Lights are off on the pace cars.
So what did Sammy do? He got to the last time. I didn't see.
Yeah, he's the only one that ducked into the top 10 here.
Yeah, he should have, because you could see that he was just going straight backwards with those old left side tires.
Rick Johnson, you got to figure he probably, I don't know, I can't remember if yeah, I think he's probably got one right now, so. I don't think he's too worried about that. Obviously, if he gets two, he's going to park it, but he still, he can't really, try not to hit anybody, whether you got 1, 0, or none, so you still have to race the same.
Absolutely, and honestly, that one looked kind of like the 9 was getting loose off the corner anyway, so it's a tough call. That's why we don't call him up here.
Get in your head. You just have, obviously if you get contact, then you have to try to assess if you've had 2 or not, and whether you want to risk, keep running, and sit out next week, or and that's the same for everybody, which is, I think, is a great rule. It's it just,
pace car off. And green flag back in the air. See, Dan Irvine is all over the 23 of Slim Jim Gately. He's seeing how hard it is to pass out here tonight, and he is looking for his opportunity. And looks like Slim might just let him have it through. Oh, he slams the door off turn 4.
Slim's gonna run his line.
Absolutely, he was clear, and he took his part of track. Meanwhile, the loss of momentum has put Mark DeCenza on the bumper of the 27 car.
Obviously, it's all about track position and no mistakes in pitting. That's what's going to come down to. Passing is very difficult. Bill Yarbrough taking a look at the 3 as he goes backwards a little bit. Bill's going to chill.
Yeah,
It's an opportunity, but what he wants to do is do exactly what he's doing, which is what he always does. You never see that 54 running in the back. You don't see him in the front until the end very much, but you always see him in that top 5.
Well, we're right on board here with the 10 car. Dennis Chambers, your Tuesday night winner, as he picks his way through the field. Currently listed in the 15th spot. You can see he's clipping the inside of the front stretch there, getting real close to the wall. That's something you got to watch for tonight. I guarantee someone's going to clip that inside wall, trying to shorten up their path around the track. Looking underneath the 99 into 1.
Coming into turn 1, taking a look and getting the pass on Papa Markinson. Stand down low, come right up to the wall right here. No break here, you're just lifting. Let it roll out. Pretty much you can see that's straight up banking, not progressive, so you can take multiple lines, hit that line on the double dog leg, back into turn 1, flat, lifting, let the car roll, come out right up against the wall. This guy's good, and so is everybody else. Back into turn 3 here. He's working the car in front of him and gaining a little bit at a time. Can't expect to gain it all. Got to work. You're still looking forward all the way. Your eyes are on those cars already going through the corner, using your peripheral vision to make these moves happen. But you have to, and he is gaining. Coming up now, you're not going to make that move right here. Set him up, probably 3-4 corners, and the 83 if Steve Weber goes wide. Dennis is making passes and saving tires too. It looks real good.
Yep, he's just going to run his strategy and see how it plays out. Meanwhile, we got a dogfight here for 2nd through 4th. Looks like Mark DeSenza might have a opening, and nope, it closes up on him.
LT talking about the 51 of Dave Jandry.
Yeah, Dave Jandry. Certainly is, and there he is on your right side, right in front of our promoter and boss, Sam Young. Dave Jandry is 51, currently listed 7th.
Sam Young is looking strong here. Let's see what he can do with Jandry. You just see the slow accordion effect here of tire wear, and these guys, obviously the best place to be is up front.
I think we're going to fall into a rhythm here. People have started to figure out what it takes to run around each other.
Rick Castle in that Crown Royal car solidly in 5th place.
Yeah, he's having a good run there, hanging on the Crown Royal machine. Our in-race reporter, Dan Jones, right behind him.
Slim's not getting away this time. Each one of these restarts is different. It's a simulation, but you do have different tires or how you use them in the first couple laps. It's not just like every restart, it's going to be the same. It's different. And so is your competition, because they learn exponentially, because they're pretty smart. These guys are pros. But so is Slim, maybe he's backing it off a little bit. Just keeping, he could be just, pulling the string, getting the cats to trying to scratch on that ball of yarn.
That was
Ding.
colorful.
You gotta ding that.
Oh, I got dinged, all right. Meanwhile, we're settling into a nice groove here, looks like.
Rick Castle all over the back in the 54. I would, just as a viewer and a broadcaster, I would say I see a lot of similarities with the 124 and the 54, how they run. Always top 5, top 10. Rick Castle's going to get his day, and he is working the 54.
Ooh, that was close right there. Still looking through the dog leg. Has to,
He's settled in,
might
he's
have to
watched,
run.
he's gotten some laps, and you see these guys trying to take different lines a little bit, get a little air on the nose, and also to try to figure out how they're going to over and under or under and over these guys. Putting the pressure on, what you want to do is try to make the guy in front of you push up a little bit, and we saw that with Bill Yarbrough because he's feeling it now. Several laps. Bill's a veteran, as good as anybody I've ever seen, so I don't think he's going to get too rattled, but it could also just be the way things are and the way the car is.
A lot of battling back here in the back half of the top 12. Steve Weber moves himself up in the 12th spot. There's the 109 of Rick Pisconer and the 99 of Pops Margison. Also battling for position there. That's going to be for 13th and 14th.
Still all over the back of the 54 is the 124. Rick Castle is working him. This is great racing right here. Dan Jones and he takes a move down low. They're side by side. He's got the line.
I think 54 is just going to roll out of it.
Spot. So no, not yet.
No, he's
getting a great run on that outside.
And he knows it tightens up off here.
Side by side.
Wow.
That's great racing. You don't know how hard that is.
It is really hard there because turn 2 tightens up and
the 007 gets up in the marbles. Did he hit the wall? I don't think so. But
I think he's okay.
That's a sticker pecker moment, and that's going to lose momentum with those other guys that Bill Yarbrough is not done. Okay, I saw what you did. Excuse me. You did what I would do, and now I'm going to try to do the same thing on you. Bill Yarbrough all in the back in the 124.
I don't think racing this hard is going to be good for the tires long run, though, so they need to factor that into their decisions.
Absolutely. The thing is, they want track position. If we get another caution, they really have no choice. And then you got a gaggle of 5 cars. Here comes that guy at 5-time, Rick Johnson at the tail end of that.
Yeah, Rick Johnson sneaking up through the field through all this.
Sam Young got to get by these guys. And
Sam Young also on the move here, moving up to 7th, recovering from having to make that extra pit stop after staying out. Jordan McGregor.
Smooth, but he'll hang it out there like nobody's business.
Jordan McGregor looks to crack the top 12 here, recovering from getting caught up in that last spin. Looks like
Rick
we're
Castle
settling in.
about a car length on the 54 there.
You know, we haven't checked in with our leaders.
Let's look at some other battles here. Yeah.
Your leaders,
and Rick
Slim Jim
Johnson gets
Gately.
by the boss. That's this field kind of feathering out. Little Dave Gendry trying to make a move on the big cactus. Pops Marchson hanging in there in 12th, getting dogged by biscuit eater, Bisconer. McGregor trying to come back with it. It's definitely a damaged car. Still a nice run for the Folgers car.
Dennis Chambers has already picked himself all the way up to 9th spot. Just picking them off one by one.
The
I'm
58
showing.
charge start, but that John just said it's kind of falling back a little bit.
I'm showing the 10 as having pitted 7 times. That's crazy. He must have been topping off every single lap under caution so far.
Slim Jim Gately. Don't even see him in the picture when you're looking at the 20. Okay, there they are. They're not out of this run right here. About 5-6 car lengths distance. How about Mark DeCenza? He back. Still not even probably 100%, but that is just bad news for the Bears, bro. That guy, one of the best I've ever saw.
Indeed, he's one cool customer. And he's been doing pretty good at these tire management tracks.
Bumping a little bit on the double dog leg there. These guys are starting to experience tire wear. Dan Irvine, last lap 31.
Ooh, Irvine in the wall.
Last lap 31 too, so not as drastic as some of the other tracks.
Irvine in the wall, that's going to give...
into the wall, and the 3's going to get the spot.
Yeah, it gives the opening to Mark DeCenza. Meanwhile, the 007, the 54, 52 all having a real close battle back here. That's for 5th spot.
That's a great battle.
007 gets around and takes 5th.
I told you to bring it back in one piece, not bring back one piece.
Oh, it's funny. I found a piece of a Honda at the end of my driveway the other day when I went to go pick the kids up off the bus. I was like, oh, that's a strange thing to just see lying at the end of the driveway, especially since none of us drive a Honda.
Some kid or some drunk guy ran into something and then bailed before the cops came.
Well, yeah, I picked it up and I sent a picture to Ryan, our series admin here, Ryan Johnson. So this is not.
There's a pass here. Rick Johnson taking a look at the 54. 54 is really struggling, and Rick Johnson doing what he does. This is exactly what the 5-time wants right here is long green flag runs, because he's the best in the world at it, in my opinion.
Absolutely one of the good ones of that. Anyway, I just picked it up and sent the picture to Ryan and said, hey, here's something you don't see every day. And he identified it immediately. Oh yeah, mirror cover and a vent visor. He knows his car parts.
He knows his Hondas.
I thought it was a piece of a bumper.
That's what he do, you know.
I thought it was a piece of a bumper, and then when he said that, and I realized the mailbox had been clipped and dented ever so slightly, and it took somebody's mirror off.
Oh, we got 101 going down.
Yeah, he just pitted. Meanwhile, Sam Young looking low on the 54. Yeah, 31 and the 101 just pitted.
Wow, Bill Yarmouth's really struggling right now, letting cars by. That's when we talk about the tire wear, like you were saying. You really thought you had it in hand. We know how smooth Bill is. We didn't really see any aggressive moves by him.
Yeah, but if you didn't know how bad this wears the tires, it might be his first time on the track. I don't know if he ran it in October.
Tire dag now for him is 2 seconds. Last lap versus best lap.
And so here comes Jeff Habak on the fresh tires, zipping around the outside.
Gotta think these guys might want to break it up in 2.
Yeah, I think it's a one. Yeah, from where we went green, they should be able to do it on one stop. And yeah, if there's one person who can do it, there's that 10 car, Dennis Chambers. He is definitely working a strategy, and it's working out for him so far. As
Now Rick
he got 8th
Johnson
place in
taking
his
a look
sights.
at Rick Castle, and Dan Jones is starting to struggle. Rick Johnson's in his element here. Jones getting higher and higher, trying to arc the corners, getting a good run out here. Is that better for tire wear or worse? Is it better to... My thing was always trying to stay low and get out the gas and stay down on the bottom late in runs.
If you can arc it gently, it's okay for the tire wear. If you
Here
fight,
comes Rick Johnson. And look,
if you fight to pull it down,
I'm sorry.
if you have to fight to pull it down out of that groove, then yeah, that's bad for tire wear. But yeah, as you noted, here comes Rick Johnson looking on the outside of Rick Castle.
Still hasn't given up that spot yet. Getting a run on the outside.
Oh, hard in the wall! Collects the 98 and the 124.
Oh, Rick Castle up in the air, and they're crashing behind him.
Look at the 10 car weaving his way through there.
Oh my gosh, 5-time into the wall, and it just causes a chain reaction. That thing just wouldn't turn for him. He tried to power it out there, and the horror.
Meanwhile, if you're Rick Johnson, keeping in mind that earlier incident that may or may not have been his fault.
And they're still crashing behind him. Oh, that was on delay, so huge melee. Caution is out. Everybody's going to get tires, and I'm going to get some beer.
All right, as we take a look here at what happened with Rick and Rick. Coming off two. You see Rick Johnson just pounds the wall. Nothing the 124 and 98 could have done. Jeff Habak, also innocent bystander. And just look at the 10 weaving his way through. Pops Margison slides sideways into it. 54, Bill Yarborough. A lot of good cars caught up in this. Let's take a look at this from the roof of Bill Yarborough, heading into it. So he's just coming along, following Webb in the 83. Looks to pick a line through, and oh, he gets hit from behind. That's what got him into it. So that must have been Pops that got him. Yeah, Pops was trying to woe it up. Everybody's just doing what they can to slow down there. Yeah, Rick Castle in the 124 was having a great run. 98, Sam Young, Bill Yarborough, Pops Margison, all these guys had fast cars, and now they're in this one. Let's watch that from the 10 car. And this is what you see coming through a big wreck. I know he drives cockpit, so this is exactly what he saw. And right behind these guys. 52 hits the wall, and Dennis just gets off the gas, a little bit of brake, Red Sea parts, and he drives right through it. Great job, calm and collected, no damage. But definitely some damage to several other cars out there. It's the big one at a short track. And Pops Margison appears to have lost his engine in that wreck. 99 car is listed as retired with a piston. Rick Johnson's still on the track.
I just got on here. I see Rick Castle parked.
Rick Castle is listed as pitting. He's probably
sitting
got a
on the track. Well, okay, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, that. My bad.
Yeah, Rick Castle's probably still getting damage done.
It was paused.
Probably still getting damage fixed. Again, a lot of cars took hard hits in that one. I don't know if you heard me, Milty, before you sat down, but it looks like Pops Margison lost his engine in that wreck.
How? Somebody steal it or?
I don't know. That might be the debris on the track. They're having such a hard time cleaning up.
Great run for Pops though, battling, trying to get into the top 10 and fighting. But that Ford motor, not tonight.
Now,
Hopefully it
this
didn't
puts us in
blow
an
a seal,
interesting
you know?
spot. Oh, lights are off on the FSB pace car with what do we got?
That would be
42
42
go.
laps. It'd be 41.
Yeah, they're not gonna make it. Well, you got to count the current lap, so it's gonna be 42.
It says 36 on a full tank here right now.
And
Yeah, you're not gonna make this one.
No. 10
Dennis
went
Chambers tops off though, as does
Yep.
Billy Arborough.
Well, you would have to clutch to even have a shot.
Well, if someone can do it, if anyone can do it, he's there on the right side of your screen right now, folks. Dennis Chambers in the 10 car.
Lap cars going down low. Sam Young beat up, still in P10, but I looked at nobody can drive a car sideways better than Sam Young, but at this track, I don't know if sideways is going to work for you.
No, sideways will have you going backwards
And
in a
he's
big hurry.
beating pretty bad in the rear there.
Hopefully you took some note of how that didn't go so well for Ken Hansen earlier, as he got loose from his rear end damage.
Yeah, knowing and doing are two different things.
Yeah, that is true.
There we
As
go.
we are going back to green here, Slim Jim Gately still in command of this race, leads him back.
Slim Jim Gately has led from start to finish. Or
Only
start
giving up.
to not finish.
Yeah,
Start
he's
to
only
now.
given up a few
There we go again.
laps led to guys who didn't pit during cycles here.
Yeah, that don't count. Dan Jones up to P3.
Look at that.
This is what he can do. We haven't seen that lately. Got caught in bad luck, but he's another guy that can.
Oh, we're wrecking again. We're wrecking again.
They're
Off
wrecking
turn
behind.
4. Oh, Dennis Chambers hard to the inside wall. Sam Young's around. Caution's out. Because cautions breed cautions.
Now what do? You're going to be really close to your window.
Oh, now you absolutely top it off and you can run to the finish. Assuming we get the green flag run to the finish.
Well, you got like one lap on your tires. Do you get tires or just fuel?
You come in for the fuel and tires.
I would agree, yeah. Cheese grater, one lap means a difference.
Alright, so here's what happened to bring this out. Sam Young and Rick Castle
Now,
back here, looking to get some spots back after being caught up in that last wreck.
Now, if you're back a little ways, you want to make track position, you just get fuel. Dan Jones down pit road. The leader does not, and neither does Mark DeCenza. They figure you're going to still stop anyway. We're not close enough. I would agree with that. We're not going to get. It's 36 is that's what the computer tells you, but that doesn't mean you can get 36.
With
Plus, you got to figure
cautions,
you're going to have more cautions. Yeah, so you got to keep track position. But dude, roll the dice here. So let's see what happens.
man, the 10 car, Dennis Chambers just locked his tires up after that great dodge of the last wreck. This time he locked it up on the front stretch in the dog leg, and he took some hard contact there. That's going to do some serious nose damage. Probably going to hurt his ability to save tires for the rest of the night.
How about Jordan McGregor? Kind of rode him off, man. That Folgers can was pretty beat up. Hard lick.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's behind me. My God.
There he is.
I
Mama,
figured,
there goes that man.
let's get 4 new tires and we'll have a race at the end.
Well, and that's, I mean, who's to say at this point? Because if we get a quick caution, now these guys are going to want to pit, and Dan Jones is going to be in the catbird seat. So why not roll the dice? Great run for Dan so far, moving up, and
Yeah, tough crowd to compete against and beat them all out. So you have to think a little ahead of them, right?
That's
yeah, you know these guys are all so good. To win, you gotta have luck and strategy. You gotta take chances. You just can't.
Yeah, different strategy, right?
Yeah, different strategies.
that's how I played it last night at Darlington.
Yeah, I can't believe you pulled that one off. But that's your favorite track.
It is
One of
my
your
absolute favorite track. Yeah.
He's just not, a director, uh, announcer, color, or point man. Shawn can drive too, folks.
I've been known to do okay.
Go into the FSB archives and
He
see
takes
championships.
takes
He's
it
got a
very
few.
serious. You got a guy like him and Isaac Johnson taking notes and knowing stuff on every race and every setup, and that's Shawn.
Well, my coworker, my new helper from Fresno, he's watching again tonight. Watched last week. Very cool. He's all fired up about sim racing.
Awesome. Well, we take all comers, all levels here.
What's up, George?
All right, so we're gonna have probably gonna take this restart probably on lap 64, I would think. Let's take a look at the pace car. And Dennis Chambers and Billy Arbrough, Dave Jandry, Johnny Doucette, Rick Bisconner, a whole bunch of cars heading down pit road right now. As the lights are off on the track and the pace car, we are going to go green next time by. So these cars topping off are definitely going to be able to make it to the finish. Just becomes a question of, are we going to have cautions again, or
Okay,
these guys up front who didn't stop going to have to save? Definitely, we are definitely going to have the cars topping off now make it to the finish if it goes that way.
Take that to the bank, folks.
But if the cautions keep coming, then it's going to be a moot point because everybody's going to come in and get tires, and they're going to have to come with them.
Well, I'd be scared, but scared is not a bad thing. You gotta be a little bit scared to get your blood pumping. Usually in these races, in my experience, the first couple laps, my foot shakes, I shake. Then I get going, and then it goes away, but...
Yeah, I was thinking last night they should put they've been putting that heart monitor on Jimmy Johnson. They should put one on me. I'm trying to steal a win like that. And meanwhile, the pace car's off and Slim Jim leads him back.
Low. Is this going to affect the guys P5 and back?
They're just going to roll
try
out
to
of it.
Get out of the way, but...
And those guys are 2 laps down.
Restart from the 23, shot out like a cannon. Slim Jim Gately's dominated all night, and that's what he plans to do. This is what I foresaw, but it's not over yet.
At 59, Ryan Johnson having a hard time getting going on the restart here. Already in the clutches of the 007 and the 10.
Oh, and the 3 gets sideways, catches it, and then powers out. Mark DeCinza is definitely back. That's the kind of car control I've seen before. That was a sticker-pecker moment right there.
That is your good hands move of the race so far. Look at and Jordan McGregor and Dan Irvine missing him.
That's the mustard off the hot dog right there. And slid back on the hot dog.
I'm gonna let that one.
P4, dude, man, I've been right there. I got a chance to win this race, but now I got to get going, and I'm in P4. And where did the 30 come from? Well, throughout the sim racing community and years, Jordan McGregor is definitely well known.
007 looking underneath the 9 of
And
Ken
now he's
Hansen.
chosen the race here, and he is definitely, as good as anybody I've ever seen.
A little contact there with Dan Jones and Ken Hansen.
These two guys up front, they know each other like the back of their hand, so they're thinking in their heads and talking to each other at the same time by talking a little trash.
Well, these guys are locked in and focused right now, I guarantee it. Actually, all three of them there, they're in their team channel right there. That's your top three runners. You know, the 124 Rick Castle's bounced back from that wreck and having to have damage fixed. He's still inside your top 10, running 7th spot.
And Rick Johnson, too.
Yeah, Rick Johnson, his car looks like it's okay. And he's hanging in there in the 6th spot. Working on Steve Weber, trying to get back in the top 5.
But there's Steve Weber, former Winston Cup champion. A previous sponsor. And he's do what he do, and he shows up at the end. Consistent, smart, smooth.
Yeah, Webb won the Cup back when it was a 22-week season. Very grueling schedule. And
yeah,
he just did it with
a lot of guys
consistency.
that were faster than him, he'd be the first to admit it, but what he did was he raced a championship season, and that was bring the car to the race every week, and
someone laid down a smoke
good
screen.
finishes. We got smoke on the track there, but
I think someone blew up.
that looked.
Oh, we got the 101. Is that the 101 or the 83?
Somebody's on
101.
fire there. No, I think that's the 101.
101 of Jeff Habak appears to be having a severe engine trouble. Yeah, that's going to be the end of the night for Tower, I'm afraid.
Power on fire, come on. Get out of that thing, man. He done blowed up.
Yeah, and there he goes, retiring it. A tough break for Jeff. I guess the damage from being caught up in those wrecks finally caught up with him. Yeah, he's listed as being out with a header. Cracked header.
Tony Doucette working on the 58 versus 54. It seemed like the 54 kind of lost something there. The car has just not been as good as it was earlier in the race. That can happen to you, and it can happen to you again. Dennis Chambers battling all night. That Jim Salad car back into the top 10, trying to take a look at the 007. Here comes the 007.
Looking underneath Rick Castle into 3.
He's looking for some Crown Royal. You know, he's usually martini shaken, not stirred, but he gets by Rick Castle. Still a great run from Rick Castle. He's battling against the best in the world there and giving him every, you know, he brung it.
Well, I'm going to step aside now and hand it over to Milty.
This thing could go all the way. Now we got the 52 of Rick Johnson all over the back of the big cactus from Arizona. Steve Weber can't make that pass. Distance between the leaders here. I mean, this is wear and tear. Not that many laps, you think, but with all these cautions, these guys can't get out of the car. They can't use the restroom. They're getting tired. Your focus. What you gonna do? Yeah, NASCAR Nonstop, sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. Thank you, Barrett. Slim Jim Gately all night, and now he's decided, I gotta put some legs on these guys. About 5 car lengths ahead of the 3 car. What can we say about Slim Jim Gately except quality individual, great sim racer? Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. And at new tracks like this, look, he's made or worked on most of the setups that these guys run because he's the professor, you know. They're all equal setups, big setup. Everybody's got the same thing. They got the same car, no matter what they're painted.
Yep, there's no difference between a no difference between a Chevy, a Ford, a Pontiac, anything. It's all the same physics underneath that.
It's all the same physics. You all got the same shot.
Well, Rick Johnson looking down, breathing down the neck of the 83 here.
Daly is clutching. I just saw that.
I figured he would be.
They are worried about fuel here.
We'll go on board and we'll hear that as he goes towards the corner here.
You called it was.
Yep, there it is.
Brother, you said it's no problem here, but he is clutching.
Well, he's not one of the ones that topped off.
Okay,
He stayed out and held the lead.
Gotcha.
He should be able to do it with all the caution laps he had to clutch under.
He's clutching. What is the 3 doing? Teammates on the same strategy. Let's see what the 3's doing. Dude, clutching. You gotta push that clutch in. You're saving fuel by letting it.
To save fuel, but we don't have an ignition switch in this game, so if you've got the clutch pushed all the way in, then it drops your engine RPMs to 0 if you get off the gas too. So it does the same effect.
Slim Jim is definitely clutching. And we have in-race reporter, the boss, owner operator. Buck, what's up?
Yeah, Sam Young has retired the 98 machine.
Okay.
Oh, they took me to the infield care unit, man. I had to go and get checked out.
Yeah, you took a pretty hard hit there.
Yeah,
glad to see all the safety features
You
work.
took a hard lick, huh?
Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine. We're going to be able to race next week. That's all that matters, and get to hit drive again. So, but what a good show, man. This track is unreal. I told Shawn, I'm not happy with. I told Shawn I'm not happy with this choice at all, and I am reversing that 100%. It's an unbelievable finesse track. I mean, it has great finesse qualities that you can use, and I can jet out of 2 sometimes and just catch up 4, 5, 6 car lengths. It's fun as anything.
Jim, sorry, boss.
Nope.
Slim Jim almost lost it there.
That's the danger.
A ton of time trying to clutch, and here comes the 3.
That's the danger of clutching. When you get back into it, sometimes it hops the rear end out. You gotta be real smooth coming off the clutch. In fact, all the green flag runs we do here at FSB, all the fuel mileage strategies, green flag pit stops, that forced me to install a clutch pedal in my TSW when I got here because I lost a fuel mileage race trying to use a button for a clutch. I tried to get off it in the corner, it broke me loose. So the very next day I had the clutch pedal kit ordered, and I've been using that ever since.
Well, I'll tell you what, it'll whip you around like a pendulum. It just wants to just shoot around the back end when you're clutching like that. And I just seen Slim do that a couple times actually.
He's not clutching now.
And no, he's not. He's got the 3 behind him. That's a problem. So
yeah,
he's taking care of that business.
But the thing is, the 3 is in the same fuel situation as him, as is the 30 might be in a better spot. Come to think of it, I don't know. 30's falling back. Dan Irvine though, I think he's on the same strategy.
Look on the scanner.
Actually,
here.
Why don't I look at I have this info on my left monitor here. Slim Jim, Mark DeSenza, Dan Irvine, they're all listed as having pitted only twice tonight. So yeah, they're on the same strategy.
Slim Jim was trying to save a little to have some at the end. He knows his teammate is behind him, probably saying, heck with that, I'm not going to clutch. And Slim took the chance, almost lost it, but did not lose it. And did run about 3 or 4 laps saving fuel, and now he's not clutching. His computer readout is probably telling him, now you're good to go, and now you can drive. And if that's the case, this is bad for the competition. But the great courage and awareness coming up on 14 to go.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you gotta do is just save for maybe the first half of the run and then drop the hammer for the rest of it, and you'll be okay.
Marcus is going to try to put the pressure on him to make that, as we see the 9 down pit road.
Yeah, rough night for Ken Hansen in the 9 car. That car's loose after damage early on. He was still on the lead lap, though.
Slim Jim Gately, 32-1. Best lap, 31. That's pretty much in order of tire wear here. So that's, let's compare between and contrast between 32-1 for him, 32-1 for Mark DeCenza. That guy in the 27 there, Dan Irvine, is not done yet. He's right there. Make a mistake, guys. I'm going to capitalize. Steve Weber, how about that? And P4. This is a great run for the Big Cactus.
The 10 car smokes tires, keeping off the 30 there.
Coming out of 2, this track is all about coming out of 2. And when you come out of 2, you just controlling and really letting that thing. You have to really just ease up on the gas, ease up, and then hit the throttle and come out low and pinch it up to the wall. Otherwise, we're really pushing that right front, and if you got somebody behind you or around you, you got really nowhere to go coming out of 2, and then you have to save it. But it's a tire reader on that right front.
Then you can also set up for a good run off of 4 if you arc it just right. Because the radius widens out on you.
Closing in on the leaders.
They're slowing down for the gas.
What they've been doing, DeCenza's not been clutching, but he's been pacing himself, lifting, which also saves gas.
Absolutely. How long you're off the gas and controlling how fast you get back onto it. These things all save gas.
But the bigger pack is coming with 10 to go.
10 car is just marching through the field right now. You got him up on the right side monitor here. He just ate Jordan McGregor alive there.
McGregor's got damage, obviously.
Yeah, he knocked the right side off his car.
Run for McGregor.
So he's probably getting tighter and tighter. But the 10 car has damage too. 10 car had a hard shot to the nose in that front stretch wreck.
Norris Gately, really great side supers. Can he bring it home? Here comes Mark DeCenza up close. Jeff Havoc.
He played Cheech and Chong.
Chong went up in smoke.
As long as he didn't end up parked between 2 impossibly close trees.
Smoke. Puff give there, Jeff. Great run.
Mark DeCenza is turning up the wick, trying to force an error.
He's back, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't seen the 3 guy back in the day, just a few years ago, and you see them running, this dude had a heart attack, and he's lucky to be alive, and getting better and better, and now you're seeing the skill of what the 3 can do, and it's a 2-horse run here as we see. Slim Jim Gately way up high. That's not the line he has been running.
No, he wanted that exit. See, that's what Sam was talking about, that rolling off 2 there.
Okay. He doesn't do anything without a plan. Great car control.
So he's going to protect the bottom through 3.
What he has.
He's the professor.
The professor.
It looks like the line he wants right now is to protect the bottom through 3 to cut off any potential dive bomb. And then when he can, arc it through 1 and roll off 2. Real nice. He's got that line figured out.
Both Dan Irvin and Dan Jones looking strong too here.
Yeah, Dan Jones quietly snuck himself up into 4th spot there. And he's looking to work on Dan Irvine. Irvine's had some hard impacts tonight too. That can't be helping his car in the long run. Mark DeCenza, after that initial rundown of the 23, you just can't seem to do anything with him.
It's still Slim Jim Gately. Does the 3 have anything for him? They separated from the field.
Well,
Yeah,
you I'm sorry, you only need to go as fast as to keep the guy behind you.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to wear out your equipment if he's behind you.
Especially places hard as this one to get a run on. And you see you got your battle for the lead on your left side, battle for third and fourth on the right. Those are probably the two best battles on the track.
32.446, 32.379 for Mark DeSenza. He gained about a tenth right there.
And we're coming up on 5 to go here.
Excuse me. He's getting closer.
Well, I'm looking forward to this track on the schedule anytime. I'll tell you what.
How about that? Just a convert in just one night.
You know it.
He's getting closer. Is he going to move him?
Meanwhile, that battle for...
Got to get up to him, though, but about 2 car lengths. He is closing in on the 23 here. Mark DeSenza in that Wrangler car. Chevy versus Chevy right here. Teammates, longtime friends. Lap 98 of 100.
Well, as I played last week on the post-race show and gave...
for Mark.
probably gave Warner Music about 5 cents for it. Don't call it a comeback. Mark DeSenza has been here for years.
He's so humble, and that was virtually identical laps, about 1/10 or 100th difference. Did Mark make anything here?
Dan Jones.
99 of 100.
Dan Jones is all over the 27.
Dominated this race.
He's looking low into 1. Dan Jones looking low into 1 on the 27. Can he get under there before they get off 2? That's the tough part to pass on. He has to back out of it because he was going to push up. But he is there. He's just looking for a way around that 27 car, Dan Irvine.
Slim Jim Gately, can he make it 5 out of 6 and dominate this season? Slim Jim Gately, 1 lap to go.
White flag in the air. I don't think Mark DeSenza has anything for him.
Wow.
And one more shot for Dan Jones to work on Dan Irvine here. The Dan
surprise.
and Dan show on the right side.
Well, he took us to school again, this professor.
Slim Jim Gately into turn 3. Step yourself into a Slim Jim. Mom Doris watching right now. And it's Slim Jim Gately.
Oh, Dan Jones in the wall off 4.
Slim Jim Gately, 5 out of 6 races.
Incredible. What a
I
record.
love you, Mom. That's the first thing he's going to say. And he is your winner.
Wow, man. Pro sim racing at its best.
Wow.
Look at these guys.
There you go. Teammates and
Teammates,
friends
Bob.
banging doors there. Slim Jim Gately, your winner. Mark DeSenza continues his strong comeback trail. Comes home second in the 3 car. Dan Irvine rounds out your top 3. Able to hold off the late charge from Dan Jones in 007. Steve Weber almost caught Dan there as he caught the wall, trying to get around the other Dan. Weber brings it home 5th, rounding out your top 5.
He's not going to do a burnout. He's going to drive it into his pit stall.
There's a nice victory lane there on the front stretch.
Where'd they get that extra gas from?
he clutched under all those cautions.
Wow.
Yeah, I knew he could possibly do it. He was also clutching under green, and he hadn't used up the tires much before that.
Dan Jones, great run, and thanks for in-car reporter.
Absolutely.
Solid run against the best in the world here, just outside of the top 3. Run them down,
Dan.
boss.
That was a great run, Dan. A lot of fun out there. I told these guys I want to see this track back on the schedule.
Yeah, that was good racing.
Fantastic, good racing. Very difficult track, but it shows you the skill of these pros here.
Yeah, so rounding up your standings here, Bill Yarbrough 6, T.G. Reese looks like he moved up to 7th in the last lap there. Missed that battle going on. Picks up 7th over Rick Bisconner in 8th. Rick Johnson falls to 9th. Dennis Chambers, 10 car, comes in 10th. Tried to play the long run strategy, couldn't quite make it work for him tonight. The damage was probably working against him. Speaking of damage working against him, Jordan McGregor drops back to 11th there in the 30 car. Dave Jandry, Ryan Johnson, and Johnny Doucette rounding out your lead lap cars. Rick Castle lap down. Strong run, but the damage probably wasn't helping him either. Brad Otto, Ken Hansen, Joe Sherem, Jeff Habak, Sam Young, Pops Margison bringing up the rear. Probably more computer issues again for Chet Barkin. We've got to get him sorted out. But the 68 car credited with the 22nd and final spot. I'm going to have Milty go gather up our top 3 finishers there as we go on into the post-race here. All right, and you'll see what our point standings were. Wait, is that... I think that might actually be updated. Yeah, Ryan may have been whispering to me to tell me he did update it, but I've got my whispers turned off for safety on our broadcast nights here. Let me look at the standings. That is updated. Wow, Ryan was on the ball. Slim Jim, by the way, led 98 of the 100 laps tonight. That is what you call dominance. Absolutely took him out behind the woodshed. Slim Jim Gately just untouchable all night long. Mark DeSenza a strong second. The only other ones leading laps tonight were guys who stayed out during caution flags. That was Johnny Doucette and T.G. Reese picking up those extra bonus points. So yeah, again, your point situation, Slim Jim leapfrogs 4 spots into the point lead. Just a narrow 3-point lead over Rick Johnson, 5 points over Bill Yarbrough, and 9 over Dennis Chambers. And then still only 12 up over the 5th spot, Dan Irvine, and Jordan McGregor in 6th. Only 13 points out. This is race 9. We got 3 races left. All those intervals are surmountable in 3 races, so this is going to be a great finish to the season. And looks like Milty's gathered up at least 2 of our podium finishers. It looks like he called it a night. Sometimes you just got to go right away. Other sponsor commitments or something. All right, Mark DeSenza. We got Dan Jones, yeah.
That's as best as I could have done. Slim definitely had the car to beat. We did have to save a little fuel there at the end, but if we didn't have to, he still would have won. So, but other than that, good race. I had nothing for Slim, though.
Say that again.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm not saying it again.
You're lucky you got it the first time. Dan, man, great run. Popping in the channel here, giving us info for the fans, and also pulling out a top 5 in P4 there. What was your race like, bro?
That was a good, tough race. Good green flag pits. That was I couldn't catch those 2-3 guys up front at all, and good racing in the back here though.
Yeah, great racing all the way through, and then you have 5 out of 6 races here. Slim, I always talk about what a quality guy you are, and you always put life first and before sim racing. Might you try to win a championship here? Or if not, it's no big deal, but
Jumped up 4 spots, Slim. You're on top.
The big deal is just obviously got nothing to prove. You've taught us all so much, but at the same time,
Got a lot to prove.
you put five out of 6 races in the bank here this season and dominated this entire season. And Mom Doris is really happy.
Well, I don't know about a championship. I feel like I got a target on my back now if you say I'm in first.
Yes,
You're
you
in
are.
first, but it is a dogfight. I mean, the top 4 within 10 points, and 5th and 6th only 12 and 13 back. I mean, anything can happen.
How many races we got left?
This is 9. This is the 9th race of 12, so there's going to be 3 races left.
Well,
Schedule
I would
is.
sure love to see you show up for those 3, but I
Hell
know
yeah.
how you roll. Family first. So, but
Well, Slim.
hope to see you.
Next track is New Hampshire. I know you're damn good there.
Love that
Hey.
place. Well,
Anyway.
there may be a hiccup in this because I believe my son's going to be rolling in here toward the end of the month, and we're talking about going camping that weekend. So it's very possible I could miss the last race.
You need someone to drive your car, Slim? I'm in.
Hey, take it for me, man.
Can we do that? Maybe I can
No,
jump in and
that's
just
substitute
make one
drivers.
lap and-
Anybody
and
but the
park it.
3.
Ooh.
I'd do it for you, but that would be illegal. So
Go camping.
Well, that'd be the only way you're going to win this, Mark.
Oh,
you gotta tell your
make
son
too
that
many races.
there's a solution, Slim. You gotta tell your son that you're gonna leave for that trip, early on Saturday morning, not on Friday evening.
Well, we'll see how that works.
well, we know what Mark's been through, and obviously Mark's feeling good and back to form, so we can mess with him now. But
Oh, I
fact-
trust me. He's back to form. You should hear him in the team channel.
that's what I'm talking about.
Look over at the points. You see that Mark DeSenza has moved himself into the top 10 in points too.
Really?
Yeah.
About time.
Wow.
Was he about 50 back?
Despite missing
Probably
several
100
races there.
Yeah, 50 points back.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll be coming for you, Slim.
Bring it on, brother.
I might not
Coming
win,
for
but you aren't
Murder
either.
Dog.
I would never count Slim out ever. And back out of Jordan too. Jordan would have had a great car. Other teammate, he just had some problems there. He had a pretty strong car. Dan Irvine as well was strong.
Dan, where did you come from, dude?
Man, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I thought you were on back, man, and we came out for that last time, and I thought, how did Dan get up here?
No,
Well, that's the guy I seen.
I went in and
by
changed my
one
tires,
point
right?
in the All-Star race there. When Dan Jones is on fire, he on fire, and tonight he
Absolutely.
was-
Great job tonight, dude. Great job, Mark.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Slim. I could hang out with you, Slim, to really, really late in the run, and then you didn't want to play anymore. You started pulling away.
He
Well,
does that.
we were sitting there running pretty hard throughout like the first half of that run, and I told Mark, I said, dude, we're not going to make it on gas, so both of us backed off.
Yeah, we saw you clutching.
I was hoping he would back off just a couple more laps, but I saw him coming at me, so I had to go.
Man, I said splash, and I went and stopped on that when you guys didn't, and I was hoping for that.
Yeah, there was
You guys pulled
definitely
it off.
concern until like the last 3 laps, or two or three laps that I knew I was going to make it.
Well, it still gained you some spots, Dan, because then you could just go full speed without having to
Right.
worry about backing off to save, and so it still picked up the spots for you.
A
So
little
it was-
hard to pass too.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Can
Yeah,
you
I think
believe-
I basically ended up. If I would have stayed out and not pitted, I probably would have in the same spot.
Well, let me ask you this, Shawn. If you had to put money on me winning a fuel race, would you?
I never
I
bet
did.
against you in any kind
My
of
pick.
situation.
Not in fuel
I
races.
didn't jinx you.
I'm just not one. I hate saving fuel, man. I'm one of them. I like to go.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
That's
but
me,
that
for sure.
we were talking before
I
you
hear
came in. That one corner when you were clutching and
Turn 3. I remember.
oh my
I remember it
gosh,
well.
man, that was
Yeah,
I quit doing it in turn 3 after that.
Yeah, we
exactly.
noticed.
You got Shawn with a spare tank, and Ryan always wins on the gas fuel. Yeah, I don't know how these guys do it.
That's all
You know what,
in the feet.
Well, I had
it's
three
not,
pounds
it's
left.
not smoke and mirrors, man. It's welcome to the world of Slim Jim Gately.
Absolutely.
What ratio you running, Slim, on that race? And
I ran all the way as high as it'd go.
Wow.
32.
I did.
Yep.
Told
Wow.
Mark, told Mark the same thing, and you saw where he finished.
Yep.
Okay.
I actually turned the ratio down, I think, on the Tuesday
What?
night.
I tried that, but it
Note
just
to
was killing
self,
my right front.
listen to
When's
Slim.
the
my
next
right
Slim
rear.
Jim Racing School coming up?
Well, now I know what to do next time. Maybe that's why I killed my
No,
stuff.
we didn't run that. We were just kidding.
Oh, you.
No, I ran.
No, we
32. I
did.
don't know
We
what he
really did.
I
I didn't want Shawn to know.
All right. Before it gets
No,
any
yeah,
thicker in here, we're
32.
gonna wrap
Good
this
job
up. So
last night at Darlington too, Shawn.
thanks, Mark.
hell
Great
yeah.
run. That was a great race with you and Ken there at the Lady in
Because you're
Black.
still
Yep, it's
competing
fun.
and the race is over.
All right, guys. So thanks for joining us up here. Our podium finishers are your winners: Slim Jim Gately, Mark DeSenza in the 3-car, and in 4th place, Dan Jones. Not pictured, 27, Dan Irvine. He rounds out your podium there. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for putting on the show. Thanks, as always, my partner, Milt Minter Jr., joining me up in the booth. Our series admin, Ryan Johnson, for running the show, getting the points updated nice and quick for us here, and all he does. And Sam Young, our league owner and promoter, and the big boss man, thank you for all you do. Our series sponsor, we didn't plug him tonight, Bill Farmer Bros Contracting, putting up the hardware that Slim is going to show up and race for. He's going to show up in Indy, right?
We'll make him.
He'll
He's
make
gone, I think.
Oh, he went to.
Oh, he'll be here.
Oh, he went over back to Channel 1. All right.
I'll torment him all week if you don't come.
You gotta hound him, man. Come on.
Oh, I will. I'm
So,
gonna hound him either way. But if he doesn't, it says he ain't gonna show up.
thanks
We're gonna
everybody
hound
for
him
all you
anyway.
do to help us put this
Absolutely,
on.
Mark. Good
Thanks
run,
everybody
man.
for showing up and
Glad
watching
you're
out there
feeling better.
in YouTube land, and we'll catch you guys next week for New Hampshire for FSB Racing Live. I'm Shawn Reap saying good night, everybody.